Okay, so today we are going to talk you through the steps for allotment revision. So on your ECC screen, we need to access the FMBB Budgeting Workbench platform, and this specific transaction is a transfer, and we will be transferring money within the regular budget of section 23. This particular transfer is an ALR1 redeployment, which means you are moving funds within the same fund class, budget class. And the initial information you need to confirm is the fiscal year as well as the period. And with today being the 1st of February, we're going for 002, which represents the month of February. And then as we move down to where we will be inserting the information concerning the details of the transaction. So when it comes to inserting the information, it's best to start with the total amount of money that you intend to move. And in this case, we will be withdrawing money. So we'll be inserting the minus sign. And in terms of the budget type, you have a few options. So we can have a look at those if you press on the small window in the corner. And this one is just a simple allotment. So you select ALLT, and that will be the same transaction that you're doing for this whole document. In terms of the grant, we can ignore this column because we're not dealing with a grant in this case. So if you move on to fund, this fund is regular budget, which is 10 UNA, and that will apply for the whole document as well. Then we have BP, which stands for budget period, and we are now in B17. And then we need the fund center code. So this is the fund center from which all the money will be coming out of. And in this case, we are moving it from budget commitment item class 145, which represents seminars and workshops. And as I mentioned earlier, this is funds relating to section 23 for SGAP only. Then the funded program is the SB number in SGAP. Okay, so the total amount of money we're moving is 18,000. And generally it's advisable to indicate in the text column what the purpose of this document is so that you can keep it in your records. In this case, it'll be the initial allotment for section 23. So as we're doing 9 transactions, just to speed up the process, we can copy and okay, so for the remaining rows, we're going to take a shortcut and copy the first row, and then using Control C and then using Control V, we can paste. The second row will change the sign to a plus sign, seeing as we're moving funds into that cost center. And the value in this case will be the same for all subsequent transactions. So now we're going to copy this row using Control C and then using Control V to paste. Okay, so now that we have all that basic information in there, what we need to do is go back, and so we'll be changing the funded program as well as each of the fund centers. So of course the cost center needs to correspond with the funded program. These are not randomly assigned, or they're not randomly connected. Okay, so this now completes all the data that's required for the transaction. So it's always helpful at this stage just to double check that you've got your minuses and pluses in the correct rows, that you've selected the right budget type, the fund, that you have your correct budget period. It's also worth double checking the fund center, making sure it's linked to the correct funded program, and of course your commitment items and functional area. Once you've done that, you can check your document by clicking on the icon up here. So once the check document process is completed, hopefully you'll come up with a green arrow saying that there are no errors detected, that the document has been checked successfully, and then it's worth coming back up to just confirm that the value of the transfer is correct and that the numbers balance out. And then when you're finished with that, you pre-post your document. And then make note of your document number, which comes up in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. For this particular transaction, the document number always starts with the digit 5, followed by 5 zeros, and then 4258. And you will need to keep a note of this number so you can track the process of this particular document. So now, once you've made a note of this number, so this document will now be sent to the certifying officer in the workflow for approval. So this now completes the process for creating an allotment revision.